picked up another foundation, and this is the Petite Major Skin Hydra-Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. I'm excited to try this out. I picked mine up in the shade 3. Rosy neutral. Yeah, let's try it out. Also, I thought since fall is coming, I should just do a nice fall eye look, and I haven't used this palette in a while. This is like throwback palette, Melt Cosmetics 420, and it's perfect for fall. Like, look how beautiful packaging is, and then these are the shades. So we'll see what we're gonna come up with. So this is what this foundation looks like. Look how luxurious it looks. I love the shade, and it's glass and it has this nice, like a rose gold. I know it's kind of his packaging that leaves all those fingerprints, but this foundation is supposed to enhance your natural radiance. It has a luminous medium coverage. It's lightweight, hydrating, and it has 3 beautiful ingredients: hyaluronic acid, squalane, and fermented kombucha. And it's supposed to blend and look and give you a nice glowy looking finish. So it's very interesting. It's medium coverage and it gives you a nice glowy looking finish. I want to see. I did try this once and I loved it. So I want to try it again and see if I still love it. And I'm going to compare it to Ilia and NARS. I know a lot of people love this foundation, and I know this is a skin tint, but I don't know if when I first used it, it gave me the Ilia skin tint vibes. So we'll try it out and see, or I'll show you the shades on the hand, how they look, in case you're have issues picking out a shade. So I'm not going to use my favorite Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter because I want to see how this foundation wears on the actual skin, but I will go in with a sunscreen. But before we do that, I want to show you what I crocheted lately, and these are the leggy froggies. Look how cute they are. I love them. I'm gonna have them soon on my Etsy shop as well. So I have this nice peach orange. Yeah, it's kind of like a pink peach. It comes orange in the monitor. And also this nice blue one, a light blue and purple. And I'm working on a yellow. I'm trying to make all kinds of colors. But yeah, I will have them on my Etsy shop if you're interested. They're just so adorable. And I want to show you. Like, look, they do this with their hands, and you can hang them off of your rear view mirror or backpacks, or like if you want to have a friend and hang it onto your arm. We make them mad by crossing their arms. They look very angry. I just love them. Anyways, I thought that they're adorable, so I wanted to share them with you. Let's get started. I'm gonna start with my Skin 1004 Centella sunscreen. Are the lights too bright? I can never tell. And this is just a regular white cream sunscreen. I did put a little bit this morning when I woke up, but I'm gonna re-add it so that we can use it with this foundation. Oh, I didn't even tell you how much this foundation costs. Hold on. I just thought I shouldn't bore you so much with the things that you can actually find online, but I will give you kind of the key points on products, because I find it when I watch reviews, and then I've noticed, which I've done that in the past as well, and I've noticed people just keep talking about the product. It just gets a little bit too boring, so I don't want to bore you with that. Just the main key points, which I've given you. $81, and it does come in the regular size, 30 milliliters, and it comes into many shades. I know people had problems choosing a shade. To tell you the truth, let me see online if I would have chosen this shade. 3 Rosy Neutral. So based on the online pictures, I would have not chosen 3 Rosy Neutral because it looks way too pink, which is fair with rosy undertones. I would have probably gone for more fair with neutral, which is, maybe I would have gone for even 2 or even up higher. But I went in store and I've tried it on my hand and I really loved the shade. So we'll see how it looks now. Okay, so now that this settled in, let's go in with this foundation. Again, look how beautiful the packaging is. And it's not a travel friendly foundation. It's extremely heavy, glass, and yeah, the cap is not loose. Like if you noticed with the NARS one became loose. Like look how messy it is. This again is in the shade Yukon, so I'm gonna give them all a shake and try them out for you. Okay, so it comes with a pump. So that's the consistency and that's the shade. Let me keep it out a little bit further so you can clearly see the shade and it doesn't wash off. It looks quite rosy, but I do have fair skin, so I think that this will look really, really good. Okay, so let me put in the NARS right beside it, which I think this is very similar in shade to the NARS. The NARS looks thicker. It does have more of a darker tone. And then the Ilia, oh, it looks, see, that's why I knew it. It looks very similar to the Ilia. And so the NARS was in Yukon and Ilia is in the shade ST1 Rendezvous. You can see the Ilia is a skin tint and is quite runny. So let's blend them. Okay, so this is the Patrick Ta, Ilia, and NARS. Yeah, obviously NARS is much thicker. So Patrick Ta's in the middle. So it's even lighter than the Ilia, but very similar pink as the Ilia. So that's why when I first tried it, it gave me Ilia vibes. Now the Ilia is a skin tint and this is supposed to be a medium coverage foundation. We'll see, because it seems in consistency very similar to the Ilia. And there's the NARS one that a lot of people love. The NARS one is called the Light Reflecting Foundation in Yukon. So yeah, here it is, and let's apply it now to the face. Hope that kind of helps understand the shade if you are interested in purchasing this foundation. So let me zoom you in a little bit more. So let's apply on one side so you guys can see. I'm not gonna put any primer in case you guys don't like to use primers. Primers are always finicky. So this is, oh, maybe I put too much. Should have put so much. Almost a full pump, like halfway. I'm going to put the back of my hand the rest. So I'm going to use my BK Beauty 109 brush and I'm going to go in with a sponge. So let's see here. It's good that I remember just to do one side of the face and then we can compare it. I really don't think you need a glowy primer with this foundation from what I've noticed. I love the finish. It is very natural looking. We're going to powder at the end too to see how it looks with powder. So I'm just going to go in with a sponge a bit. Make sure that it's all blended. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So, okay, no foundation here. You can still see redness and regular skin. And then on this side here, that's where we applied it. It looks very natural looking. I don't consider this a medium coverage. You can see that you can still see redness over here. So it is marketed as a medium coverage foundation, but for me, I love this type of coverage. But if you're looking for more coverage, I don't know if you need to build it up, but look how beautiful it makes the skin. So youthful and glowy, but not oily looking, and it feels very comfortable. Okay, so let's apply some on this side of the face. You can try build it up if you guys want to see how it looks built up more, to see if we can build it up to a medium coverage. I just love this type of coverage on my skin. I can definitely tell you, and this is very similar to the Ilia skin tint. I get the same amount of coverage. Even though the Ilia is very skin-like, maybe this gives you a little bit more coverage, but just a tiny bit, but they're very similar. Okay, so this is what the face looks like now. It looks really pretty. I like how natural it looks. We can definitely build it up. So here is with just one layer. I'll stop moving so you guys can see better. And look how nice it settles once it dries onto the skin. It just feels like you're just wearing skincare, right? And I just added half more pump. You can see that it's quite runny too. And we can build it up. So normally I wouldn't do this, but for the sake of the video, I would. Like, that is perfect amount of coverage for me. I don't need more. So let's go in with the brush because the brush won't suck up the product. Oh, so beautiful. So I'm not going to add concealer because I think that this acts as a concealer. If I add concealer, it will definitely probably settle in my fine lines because it looks like a more slippery foundation. So we build it up. Let's see, do we see a difference? More medium coverage. It looks like it. It doesn't cover pimples. Like if you have any pimples on the face. They do get a little bit cover, but not fully. But it does provide more coverage, you see? I don't know if you consider this medium. It all depends on what you consider medium. It's definitely not full, but they say it's a medium foundation. So we try build it up and see. I really love it. Maybe it's medium, but with more, maybe it's medium with a hint of skincare. That's kind of what I'm getting. Okay, so it does look beautiful. Now let's move on for the rest of the face. And I'm going to use some newer products that I have in my collection. And I'm going to start with my Dior bronzer stick. And this is in the shade 01 Light. This is the Dior Forever Skin Contour. It's so pretty. That's the shade. So I think, no, let's work off of the product. And I'm going to go with my Makeup by Mario F4 brush and the dual-ended brush. And I'm going to go with the bigger part. And let's bronze up the face a bit. It says it's a contour, but I like to use it as a bronzer. Whoa. See, I don't see any, it doesn't lift up the foundation at all. It looks really pretty. There's so many, I have so many favorite foundations now. Like, it's so hard to choose one. I can definitely, it's easier to choose one that's not very good, but they're so good. So far, I can tell you that I will definitely choose this foundation if I were to go out or to a party, or from what I've noticed. I don't know if I want a powder because I love how the skin looks like this. Maybe we'll powder the T-zone, we'll see. For the ones that like to use powder. Okay, so for a blush, this is newer as well. And this is the Baby Cheeks Blush Stick by Westman Atelier. And this is in the shade Duo Duo. Just this, I don't know, beautiful pink. I love it. So I'm going to go in the same brush and the other side. And just color the cheeks a little bit. So easy to use. You don't have to be precise or think you have to perfect this. Just they blend by themselves, these products. This foundation, is this going to become my favorite? I have so many favorites. Maybe I have to do a favorite foundation video or my top 5 that I recommend, because I did try a couple new ones. Oh my goodness, definitely love this foundation. It's so pretty. If you do have oily skin, it's probably going to be, I can see it on my face and I have dry skin. Maybe it's best to powder, or it's best to use more of a mattifying primer underneath, or it's also good to use it, maybe mix it with more of a matte full coverage foundation, you know, so think of those things. Okay, so let's move on to the eyes now. No, let's powder. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder in the shade 1 Fair. And let's go in with this Hourglass brush. I'm gonna go in with the little side. No, there's absolutely no settling in here, but I will just press it in since we applied the powder. So let's do the one side so we see how much of the glowiness we eliminate with powder. So yeah, you can still actually see the foundation coming through. So here it is with powder, this side. I still love it. It's still glowy. I only applied it in here though. And hold on. I do have little hairs. And then this side is no powder. So let's apply on this side as well. I don't know. I'm probably not going to apply so much powder, but as I apply today, and I won't apply so much foundation, but look how pretty it looks. I love it. It's so nice. Let's move on to this palette. This is the 420 Melt Cosmetics palette, and it has very nice, beautiful, full shades. I'm not sure what I'm doing today, but I will definitely start with Hash, this shade right here, at first, and just use that maybe as a transition. They're very pigmented, so there's a lot of product that comes on the brush. I forgot and they're more on the warmer side. I wanted to use a yellow, but I don't know. We'll see if we're going to use a yellow. These are all mattes, and I think there's, yeah, one shimmer. It's called Shatter, which is more golden, but I'm not a big fan of golden shimmers. I don't think I've used it that much. I don't even know if they have this palette available. So again, you don't have to have this palette to create a nice fall look. You can just choose some nice warm and browns, some yellow, some greens. But I do want to use that yellow, and I don't know where to put it. So I do want to try this yellow. It's called Wax. It's not a green, it's a yellow. I'm going to go with a BK Beauty 203 brush, which is more flat. Oh my goodness. I don't know where to put it. Okay, I'm going to put it in the middle and inner corner. Wow, I haven't used yellow on my eyes. I think it looks pretty. It's pretty intense though. That is very pigmented. So I'm going to go with my first brush and just make sure that we blend it. This is very pigmented. So let's go with the same brush. I cleaned it and I'm going to go into a brown. I'm going to go into Roll It, this darker brown, which is the darkest brown in here. And wow, they're so pigmented. I'm just going to add it in the outer corner here. Looks very muddy. Then go with my first brush here. We'll see what we come up with. Oh yeah, it blends really nice into the yellow. This is definitely a fall look. It's quite scary in the beginning, this brown. Any fallouts? Nope, no fallout. Yeah, bring it into the yellow to diffuse that sharp color if you don't want to have so much yellow on the eyes. But I think it looks really nice. It actually matches my shirt. I have some yellow on my shirt. Okay, so whatever I've left on my brush, I'm just gonna swoop it into the crease like this. I'm not a makeup artist, so, you know, it is what it is. I just love playing with the makeup. Let's go into Hash first. So I'm gonna go with the nice light brown because it looks pigmented. BK Beauty 210, it's like a pencil brush, and I want to bring this warm color down here. I don't know if I'm gonna smoke it with that dark brown. I need to intensify that a little bit more. Now let's use it on the other eye and see. That looks pretty. I think that's perfect for the under eye area. This is definitely a beautiful fall look. I love, love, love the yellow. I think that's what gives it a really nice, different type of eye look than a regular neutral brown. Okay, I think we're done with the palette. We don't want to intensify too much. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add anything in my waterline. I'm going to leave it pretty simple so that the yellow is the center of attention. Now, let's quickly apply some mascara. I'm going to go in with my Marcelle Ultimate Volume Mascara. I love this one so much. It's so good. And do you guys want to see it? Maybe I'll do one eye on camera or a little bit so you guys can have an idea on how this mascara works. So I like to use one coat only. I don't double dip. And then again for the bottom, whatever I've left after using it on the top, I'm just going to add it to the bottom. Separate the lashes and that's it. See, one eye is done. So fast. You don't need two coats. I've noticed that if you use two coats with any mascara, for myself anyways, I feel it too clumpy and too heavy and I can feel it on my eyes. It just feels like nothing on my eyes. And it's not sensitive, like my eyes feel okay. I don't get watery eyes from it, nothing. It's not smudging, it's not crumpling, so it looks beautiful. Okay, so enjoy this intermission. I'll be right back finishing this eye, then we move on to lips and I'll give you my final thoughts on this foundation. Okay, so here are the eyes complete. What do you guys think? Here's from afar. You guys can see it looks really pretty. The foundation, the eyes. My goodness, I love the yellow on the eyes. Okay, let's move on to lips. This is so exciting. I'm going to choose my Tower 28 Draw Me Multi-Liner. You can use this on lips and eyes. And I think it's a perfect shade. I know that the blush is a little bit more on the pink side, but I think it just... a little bit of rosiness won't hurt. Like, let's assume it's a nice cold fall day outside. So this is the darker one. I'm just gonna fill it in with this. You guys know how much I love filling in my lips with lip liners, and these are perfect. So hold on, we're gonna make it more perfect by always using a lip brush. I find that with a lip brush, it just smooths the lines a little bit nicer. More product on the lips. I'm gonna try this one again. This is the Clinique Black Honey, and this is the original one. Its packaging is quite annoying. You see, it doesn't go back after. You kind of have to push it down, but it's okay. So let's just add here in the middle, just to kind of blend that lip liner, so now I have to push it back down, which is not preferred, but I think this is the final look completed. Here's the final look. What do you guys think? So here's a close-up, super close, so you guys can see how my skin looks. I think it looks wonderful. And remember, I do have powder, so this is what it looks like. And then on the forehead, let's remove these little hairs from here so you guys can see better. But that's what's on the forehead. It did not settle in any fine lines. And underneath my eyes, it did not settle into any fine lines as well. You can still see the glowiness coming through, even though we powdered. Let's put a little bit, whatever's left on the brush. I love it. It doesn't emphasize any pores. Now, again, I used more than I normally use. I won't use 2 pumps on the face, but I wanted to see if it does build up. Is it worth $81? I don't know. It's $81. It does have great ingredients, which you want in a foundation, but I don't know, $81, it's expensive. So it's quite heavy. You can actually break your toe if you drop this on your toe. Be careful, it's big, thick glass. It does leave the fingerprint, so if you're not a fan of that, I don't know. About the shade, this is perfect shade, a 3 rosy neutral. I'm usually fair, and neutral undertones work really good on me as well. So it doesn't have to always be rosy. But like I said, I noticed that my NARS one, it has a little bit of rosiness. My Ilia, it's more closer in consistency to Ilia, even though this is a skin tint and this is a medium coverage foundation. So you can decide if you consider this medium coverage. I don't know. To me, it looks like a regular day normal coverage. It's more than a skin tint, but less than medium coverage. It's kind of in between, like almost borderline to medium for my face. It's so pretty. Look how nice it looks. And it's not sticky. It doesn't feel oily. It feels really lightweight, glowy, hydrating, provides coverage. It's exactly every point that the back of the packaging mentions right here. It just hits every point. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy I have it. So I will definitely repurchase it again. If you love the NARS light reflecting foundation, I think this is thicker. I mean, you guys saw that it's thicker, so it's probably more coverage, or I don't know if it's the same or more because it's thicker, but my face looks the same with this one as well. And same with the Ilia. I love them. They're just beautiful. So I hope that kind of helps in choosing a shade if you're close to my skin tone. I love to, like, neutral undertones or neutral foundations work really good on me. Always buy fair. Sometimes I have light foundations seem a little bit too dark on me, but fair to light depending on the foundation, of course. And I can work with rosy and I can work with a neutral undertone. I don't go for warmer because they tend to be more yellow on me, but that's what works for me. So I hope that's kind of helpful in choosing a shade. If you decide to purchase this foundation, you don't need this foundation if you have others. This is me showing you a product that I love and I was excited to buy. So again, it's whatever excites me, I will just buy if I can afford and if it makes sense. But yeah, it's, you know, I hope it's helpful, and I hope this video is not making you go spend your hard-earned money on something that you might not need, but I just wanted to show it to you and how much I love it. And I hope it's helpful in case you do decide to get it. And my blanket is falling off. Hold on. Okay, so that's it for me today. I hope it was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. And I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.